Alright everyone, welcome to long division lesson 1. Hi Zach. Hi Peter.
Hello.
Okay, so if we lose video or microphones, you guys can type down here in the chat box.
Okay.
There you go. Alright, so before we started our lesson for today, which is going to be introducing long division and tricks to help you remember the steps for long division. So the purpose was to begin learning the steps to long division. That's what we're going to work on today. And your pre-class homework was to watch the following videos on Khan Academy to preview what long division looks like, and to consider the following questions. So, what do we need to know to be able to divide? What is another way to think about division? How many times can the divisor go into the dividend without going blank? What kinds of mini math steps are we doing when we are dividing? And which is the divisor and which is the dividend? So if I have 21 divided by 7, which is the divisor and which is the dividend? Zach, I want you to answer the question arrows that I'm circling in blue. And Peter, you are going to answer the questions that I will circle in red.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead and take a few moments. I will enable you guys to type right on there and to write right on the questions, so go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And if that does not work, you can always type them into the chat.
Okay. Not sure if my text is out.
I got it. Pete, if you're having trouble with that, you can answer it down in the chat box.
Okay.
Oh, there you go, I see it.
Yep.
And Zach, you still need to answer the last blue one. Which one's the divisor and which one is the dividend?
Hold on, it's not working.
There you go.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm showing that, so I'm just going to type in the chat.
That sounds good.
Come on. One wee bit frustrating. Okay.
Alright, I am putting smileys on the questions that we got right. And Pete, I'm going to give you a smiley in the chat.
Okay.
you're correct with that one. And then can you think of some ways that some steps that we do in the division process?
Yes. I'm going to type it in the chat.
Good. Yep. Those are a few of the steps. So, nice work on watching those videos before the lesson. Now we are going to look at what we're going to be doing today. And does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers rare? Those are some words we can use to help us remember what steps to follow. So, does is going to remind us to divide. McDonald's is going to help us remember to multiply. Serve is going to help us remember to subtract. Cheese is going to help us to remember to compare. Less than, greater than. Burgers will remind us to bring numbers down and bring numbers up if we're at the end. And rare will help us to remember to repeat. That's an infinity symbol that we use to know that we need to keep going. Okay? So here is... I'm going to disable microphones for now just so you guys can be listening. Maybe. Nope, I'll leave the microphones on. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to give us an example of what each of these is going to look like. So I'm going to have us do 58 divided by 4. So, the first thing we need to do is think that we need to divide. So that's going to be step number 1. So we're going to do that in red. The first thing we're going to do is divide 4 and think how many times can 4 go into 5 without going over? It goes in once. Then we're going to multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. Then we're going to subtract the one group that we made. 5 minus 4 is 1. And then we need to compare, is 1 less than 4? Yes, it is. So then we can bring down our 8. So those were all the steps. Let's go over those again. We're going to divide the 4 into the 5, and 4 goes into 5 one time, which we put up top. Then we multiplied. 1 times 4 is 4, and we subtracted 5 minus 4 is 1. And we compared to make sure that we couldn't make any more groups with this 1 that's right here. If we could have put another group of 4 in, we would have known that our number up top was wrong. Then the next thing we did was we brought down the 8, and now we are going to repeat. So, we're going to see how many times 4 can go into 18. 4 goes into 18. How many times without going over, Zach? 4 times, yes. So, that was dividing 4 into 18. Then 4 times 4 is what, Peter?
16.
Yes. What is our next step going to be, Pete?
We're going to subtract 16.
Yes, subtract 16 from 18, good. And 18 minus 16 is what, Zach?
2.
Great. Now, do we have any more numbers to bring down? Thumbs up or thumbs down in the chat. If we don't have any more, thumbs down. If we do, thumbs up. So in our little chat box over here, yep, you're right, Peter, no more numbers to bring down. So this number, good, Zach, is going to come up. And the 2 is going to be a remainder because we can't make any more groups of 4 out of that 2. Alright, so we did a little bit of practicing there. Remainder 2, yes. Alright. There we go. There, 14, remainder 2. Alright, so some helpful questions to ask as we're going through this. How many times does the divisor go into the dividend without going over? That's a good question to ask. Then, what do I do when I'm comparing? You have to make sure that the remainder is less than the divisor. So if we go back, each time, we had to make sure that our remainder, the 1, and the 2 was less than the divisor, which was 4. Then the next thing, when do I bring down and bring up? We are bringing down numbers when we have finished subtracting, and we'll bring them up when there's no numbers to bring down. And you repeat when there's numbers to bring down, but you write the remainder when there's no more. So now we're going to have a breakout room, if I can get it to work. Let's see what I can do. And you're each going to solve a division problem. So Peter, I'm going to move you into a room. And Zach, I'm going to move you into another room. Okay. And we're going to start our breakout session. So Pete, the problem I want you to solve Alright, bud, so that's what I want you to solve.
62 divided by 3.
Yep, go ahead and do that. I'm going to be going to another room to give Zach a problem to solve, okay? Make sure you're showing your work.
Okay.
Oops. How do I? Alright, so I wasn't quite sure how to move Zach and get you started in your room, so I'll just have you join in Peter's room. And this is what I would have had you do in your room, is to go through and do a problem on your own like that. So, since Pete did the problem, Zach, I want to have you... What's up? Oh, there you go. Zach, I want you to go ahead and walk us through what Peter did with each of his steps.
Okay, so the problem is 62 divided by 3. So you first have to ask yourself, how many times can 3 go into 6? We know that 2 times 3 is 6, so it can go in twice. Then you put the 2. Can you see my pointer or no?
Nope, I can enable drawing for you. There you go. You can underline and highlight if you want.
So, once we figure out that the 2 times 3 is 6, put the 2 up there, multiply it, carry it down here below to the 6. We then have to subtract 6 by 6, and that gets